Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to my official top 3 most underrated teams of 2022. And guys, yesterday I came out with my top 3 overrated teams. Today I have gone through, looked at all of the initial FPI rankings, and picked 3 teams that I think are not getting a lot of hype. All of these 3 teams I think have New Year's 6 potential. In my opinion, these 3 teams can all make New Year's 6 bowls, and if I hit it correctly, they all will make New Year's 6 bowls. In my opinion, these 3 schools all have very adequate quarterback play. They've all got extremely favorable schedules, but people really don't have, they're not aware of it. They don't know. I'm going to show you guys 3 teams that are really going to have better seasons than people expect in 2022. And coming in at number 3 on my list, it's going to be Houston out of the American. There are so many different factors. Number 1, they return the best quarterback in the American Conference, Clayton Tune. He threw 30 touchdowns last year. They also return a 1,000-yard receiver as well. And then the other thing, the American is wide open in 2022 with Cincinnati losing basically everyone to the draft. UCF has a new quarterback. You look at the overall schedule, it's a very manageable non-conference, and I think it's a good non-conference because week 1 at UTSA, we know UTSA's been decent, but this year they're expected to be pretty bad. That should be an easy win for Houston. Week 2 at Texas Tech, I love that matchup. That matchup could put Houston really on the map. That could bring them to being a top 25 team if you go on the road into Texas Tech. It's not extremely easy, but it's manageable. Week 3 versus Kansas, very easy win. Versus Rice. Versus Tulane, at Memphis, very winnable. At Navy is winnable. Versus South Florida, at SMU. They don't even face UCF in the right. This team might go undefeated. I'm not going to say that, but I'm expecting from the New Year's 6 team out of the group of 5 will be Houston. In my opinion, they will make a New Year's 6 bowl. They return so much. It's a wide open conference. It's an extremely easy schedule as long as they win their conference championship, probably against either Cincinnati or UCF. Houston is going to a New Year's 6 bowl. Right now, they are preseason FPI number 44 team. And just based off of my research, I would probably have them ranked at least inside the top 20. I wouldn't say top 15, but I would say like they're the 20th best team based on who they return, based on their schedule. This team has a real sweet spot to impress, and they're really underrated going into 2022. My number 2 team on the list, it's going to be Oregon. So guys, Oregon has a ton of talent on the defensive side of the ball. They've got 3 former 5-stars, including 2 5-star linebackers. Even after losing Kayvon Thibodeau, they've got a ton of talent. They've also got Bo Nix, who's a solid quarterback. And the crazy thing with Oregon, and the reason they're going to surprise a lot of people, their Pac-12 schedule is crazy easy. Guys, get a load of this. Week 1 versus Georgia, that's a loss. Okay, whatever. So they're 0-1. Then you've got Eastern Washington, easy win. Versus BYU could be tricky. But it's a home game. If you get the win, that's a big one because BYU is probably going to be ranked. And then you take a look at their in-conference schedule. At Washington State is a win. Versus Stanford is a win. At Arizona, you get UCLA at home. At California, at Colorado, easy. You get Washington at home. You get Utah at home. At Oregon State, you completely dodge USC. So this is an extremely favorable home schedule for Oregon. If they win their home games, they are going to be in the mix for the playoff. And the Pac-12 is getting better, and it's so sad. Guys, I was thinking about this. Just as the Pac-12 finally gets better, you've got Oregon getting a 5-star quarterback committed. They're on the come up. They've got the Nike money with the NIL. You've got Utah, who is establishing themselves as a solid year in and year out program. They're going to be in contention for maybe even the playoff this year. And you've got UCLA with Lincoln Riley. UCLA with Chip Kelly. They had a nice year last year. USC with Lincoln Riley. It's so sad the conference is getting gutted because it was just getting better. But Oregon is a sneaky team with their schedule if they win their home games. Look at their road schedule. Guys, this is their road schedule. Their road schedule, Washington State, Arizona, California, Colorado, Oregon State. Wow. Extremely manageable. And I guess you could also say the week 1 game. Yeah, the week 1 game is a road game. That is not a neutral site. You can't face Georgia in Atlanta, Georgia, and it be labeled a neutral site game. That makes no sense. But they come in at number 2. They are currently preseason FPI 23. I think they could finish in, a top 10 team in the final poll. Based off of their schedule. Bo Nix is a good quarterback. They've got a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Oregon is my number 2 most underrated team. But guys, coming in at number 1, my most extreme underrated team, it is Virginia. They are preseason FPI number 55. I guarantee you they will finish the final AP poll ranked inside of the top 25. Brendan Armstrong, great quarterback. They've got 2 really good receivers returning, including a 1,000-yard receiver. The offense should be phenomenal. The defense, whatever. All it's got to be is average because you're in the ACC, and you've also got a very favorable schedule. Looking at it, Richmond at home, at Illinois. That's your tough non-conference game at Illinois. Old Dominion at home. And then you're going to start 3-0. And then the conference schedule, at the Carrier Dome, at Syracuse. Friday night game. That's tough Friday night game, but you'd think you're going to be favorites at Syracuse, at Duke, easy. You get Louisville at home, at Georgia Tech, easy. Miami at home, North Carolina at home. You don't even need to win both those games. Just split them. And then you also get Pittsburgh at home. And then you kind of have a weird non-conference game versus Coastal Carolina. Brendan Armstrong versus Grayson McCall. That's a great matchup. And then you've got at Virginia Tech. Extremely manageable schedule. I don't know why people are sleeping on Virginia. I would have them inside of my preseason top 25 personally. It's crazy. Their FPI is 55, returning one of the nation's best quarterbacks, and he's returning many of his weapons, receiver weapons. So I have no clue. I understand the defense isn't the best. They also have a really weak offensive line. But if you're in the ACC, you just got to be manageable. Just be manageable. Just give Brendan Armstrong enough time to make throws with this schedule. Miami at home, North Carolina at home, Pittsburgh at home. The way it lines up, the teams that, if you win some of those games, you will have a breakout season if you are Virginia. And if you're a Virginia fan, college football fan, you are extremely excited for this season because nobody's talking about you. And you take a look, you can get off to a good start. Those are basically, I would say, possibly 7-0. You're possibly going to be 7-0. Maybe a tough game would be at Syracuse on that Friday night, but it's very winnable. Other than that, I don't see a loss. Maybe Louisville at home. Malik Cunningham is good, but I like their chances playing that game at home. And then that Georgia Tech game is on at Thursday. So they play both a Friday and a Thursday game. Very unique schedule. Their week 1 game is also on ESPN 3. Oh, no. They also play Old Dominion on ACC Network. Oh, boy. But guys, how about the Illinois game on ESPNU? Either way, this is a very manageable schedule. They are my number 1 most underrated team for 2022. So to recap, coming in at number 3, it's Houston. I expect them to possibly make a New Year's Six Bowl. Coming in at number 2, it is Oregon. I also think they could make a New Year's Six Bowl if they win that home game versus Utah. They could be headed to the Pac-12 championship. They have a real possibility to at least finish top 15. And then Virginia, a New Year's Six Bowl might be a little bit of a far stretch, but they're preseason ranked 55 in the FPI. They're going to be a top 25 team at the end of the season. They are my number 1 most underrated team, guys. But that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.